The last passenger. It was a cold, foggy evening when Laura boarded the 11:15 p.m. train bound for the city. She'd missed the earlier train and was already regretting her decision to travel at this hour. The platform was nearly empty, and the train, old and creaky, seemed like it belonged to another era. As she settled into her seat by the window, she glanced around the near-empty car. There was only one other passenger, an older man dressed in a worn leather coat, sitting across from her. His face was partially obscured by shadows, but Laura could feel his gaze on her. The train jerked into motion, and Laura tried to ignore the uncomfortable sensation growing in the pit of her stomach. The man's eyes seemed to linger too long, and there was something unsettling about his silence. She turned her attention to the passing landscape, but the fog outside blurred everything into nothingness. Then, just as the train entered a tunnel, the lights flickered and went out, plunging them into darkness. The low hum of the train's engine was the only sound. Laura's pulse quickened, and she instinctively reached for her phone. But when she glanced down, it was dead. Battery drained without warning. A moment later, the lights flickered back on, but the man across from her was gone. Laura's heart raced. She looked around, panic rising. The car was still empty, except for the lingering smell of tobacco and something metallic, like blood. Her eyes darted from seat to seat, but there was no sign of the man. The train chugged forward, but now it felt as if they were moving too slowly, the rhythmic clatter of the tracks too loud, too unnerving. She tried to get up, but the door to the next car was locked. Her breath quickened, and she pressed herself back into the seat, hands trembling. The train felt wrong, like it was moving through a different dimension. Finally, after what felt like hours, the train screeched to a halt. Laura stumbled off, her legs weak, only to find herself standing at an unfamiliar station. The station was deserted, no lights, no signs. The air was thick with fog, and the train was gone. She checked her watch. It was 3 a.m. And then, just as she turned to leave, she saw a figure in the distance, an old man, standing at the edge of the platform, staring at her. It was the same man, and he was smiling,